Welcome to Community Talk, a public affairs presentation of the MSA United Way and Super Talk 1270. Now your host, Jenna Gullo.
Welcome and good morning. This is United Way's Community Talk, and I'm Jenna Gullo. I'm the Executive Director of the Missouri Slope area-wide United Way, working hard for you every single day here, alongside with my co-host today, Ms. Amber Jensen, the Marketing and Operations Director at the United Way.
Good morning, everyone, on this cold day. Ooh, not
chilly.
ready.
A little chilly. I ran home to New York and to be with my family over the holidays, and we had a green Christmas. It was even in the 50s one day. Gosh, darn it.
Jealous.
Yeah, a little bit.
Guess we've been spoiled thus far, so.
It was felt like minus 22, I think, last night.
Yeah.
Gosh. But, you know, if you think about everything that we have, that we are so grateful for, so blessed to be in a warm home, you know, have a loving family, have the ability to provide for children and grandchildren. And so many blessings this holiday season, and so many people feel that way because they've really stood up to support our community through United Way.
Yeah, I noticed this morning you were running around, visiting with donors and doing the last-minute end-of-year giving. Do you want to talk about that this morning?
Well, you know, many people want to give, and many people are extremely busy, aren't sure what the most effective and efficient way is to give. And I'll be honest, a lot of people, you really just have to keep asking and keep after them because, you know, they want to, but they also have so many demands placed on them throughout the year, and we understand that. And so we are trying to get every single business and person who has given in the past to our United Way to give again this year. And we're trying to recruit new donors and tell them about the United Way message. So we are knocking on doors. We are doing some surprise visits, but mostly in an effort to share the good work of our United Way. We have such a small office. There's only 5 of us at our United Way office, in which 2 are paid for by a foundation grant. And so, you know, your dollars are going where they're needed the most. And we reach out to our volunteers, our campaign cabinet, our board of directors to help us not only to raise these important dollars, but to put them to work in the most efficient and effective way.
Yeah, and one of the greatest things this year, and I guess it's been the last few years for United Way that we've been promoting, is the North Dakota Charitable Tax Credit. And so have you seen a lot of people taking advantage of that while you've been out the last couple days?
Yeah, I have. And it's really exciting because our United Way does have a qualified endowment fund. And so many people, what I'm even more surprised at is so many people don't even know about the 40% North Dakota tax credit. So this is how it works, Amber. If you are planning on giving $500, $1,000, $1,500, you know, to our United Way, you might as well give $5,000. Because if you give $5,000 after your federal savings, when you do your taxes, you get a 40% tax credit on your North Dakota income statement. And so you get that money back. So a gift of $5,000 for so many people ends up costing, you know, roughly $1,600. You can have nearly 4, or so times the impact with your gift if it's made out to our endowment fund.
Wow, that's amazing. That's such a savings for those that are kind of teetering on back and forth as to what they should give. That's definitely something everybody should be looking into.
Yeah, and you can just, multiply the impact of your gift by giving to an endowment fund. And it all goes to help our community, whether it's the needs right here today or you want to give to our endowment fund to look for the future of our community. The purpose of our endowment fund at the United Way is to eventually generate enough interest off of those dollars because they're there forever. They're there for the future of our United Way in our community, and then to be able to cover any operation expenses so that 100% of the campaign can go directly to serve the immediate needs of our community, but also the long-term solutions.
Yeah, and that's so important as we're looking at the end of our campaign and trying to reach our $2.5 million, that if we look in the future and be able to know that 100% of that will go straight back to the community and the impact that it can make. It's so important when you're looking at giving.
Yeah, and my favorite part about these visits are really sharing stories about our community and what's working and what's not and what the needs are. And most people are very surprised to learn that over 35% of our low-income students in Bismarck-Mandan are not reading at proficiency level. So what this means is that they are 4 times more likely to drop out of school. More than 35% of these kids. Many people don't realize that we had to start United Way's backpack program because there were hundreds and hundreds of kids who weren't eating over the weekend.
I know, and that's crazy. Just right here in our Bismarck-Mandan area, I mean, it's people that you walk by every day that are receiving the backpack program, and you would never know. So you're really impacting a lot of lives.
Well, and it's at every single elementary school. We just had a parent who's very active in just about every organization in town, and one of our great supporters, Heidi Rue at Superior Insurance, and she was a Day of Caring team captain. She, got Christmas gifts for everybody, for a lot of the families in need through our United Way programs. I mean, just an awesome example of, of what our volunteers and our supporters look like. And Heidi was telling me that there were people at Liberty School that didn't think, Liberty Elementary, that didn't think there was the need in our community for the United Way backpack program because they don't see it at their school. And then once just last week, we had that school sign up for some backpacks. So
yeah, I think we delivered 3 to that area, which is, it's great to see that we can be able to reach those students that might, not have all those resources.
Yeah, exactly. And Langang Home Center helped pack us bags last week for the long Christmas break. We filled how many? Like 400?
I think it was 490.
490 backpacks full of food for the 12-day break.
Yeah, I stopped at Saxvig Elementary later on in the day after Langang packed those bags. And when I walked in, the social worker there was just ecstatic. They had bread and peanut butter and jelly, and she was just so happy to know that those kids, when they, come back after 12 days, might be ready to learn and full of food.
Yeah, so if you are listening out there and you want to get more involved, we absolutely still need your help. We have not reached our local goal of $2.5 million. We probably have another $500,000 to go. And if you think your $25, your $100 gift, your $2,000 gift isn't going to make a difference, that's how we operate at our United Way. It's by getting everyone involved, adding up the gifts, multiplying the impact. Sponsor a weekend of the backpack program for $2,000 or put that $2,000 towards providing mentors to a lot of these students that don't have those positive role models in their lives.
Yeah, absolutely. 2,000, like you said, that's 22 mentors in a school classroom around the Bismarck-Mandan area. That goes a long ways.
Yeah, absolutely. So listen, we want to tell you, our listeners, our supporters, our newbies out there in the community more about the work of United Way. We'll be talking about our health initiative because we are here for the entire community. So we would like you to come back, join us. We'll be talking with Katie Jonke, the Nutrition Services Coordinator for Bismarck Public Health, one of our fantastic partners doing great work in our community through your support and your help. Come back in just a couple minutes.
Right now it's 8 below.
When the weather turns bad, turn to us. Bismarck-Mandan's emergency weather information station, Super Talk 1270.
Welcome back to United Way's Community Talk. I am your host, Jenna Gullo, the Executive Director of the Missouri Slope Area-Wide United Way. If you want to get involved, if you want to accomplish some great things as you're thinking about your New Year's resolutions in 2015, give us a call. We want you involved. We want you a part of our social movement. That's how we work at our United Way. So call us 701-255-3601. Go online to Facebook. I think we are at Facebook.com/MSAUA. Is that right, Amber?
That is correct.
And Amber, you're young and fun. And how do the youngins tweet us?
They can tweet us at Twitter at MSA United Way. I'm not that young. I'm not on that bandwagon yet, and I think it's about
funny?
to pass, probably.
Well, it's so funny. Last night I was Snapchatting all my nieces and nephews.
You learned that during Christmas?
And they all got iPhones now, so God bless them. But one of them screenshotted one of my photos. So that's a danger out there. If you're
That's right.
listening, tell the youth, don't send anything too embarrassing. It was just me making a funny face, but still.
Yeah. Get up and be active, right?
Yeah, get up and be active. Get off of those electronics, people. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. One of the things at our United Way is that we are here for the whole community. And the work we do is what you tell us is important to you. One of the most alarming statistics is the obesity rate in North Dakota. In fact, in North Dakota, we have 66% of adults who are overweight. 66%. And I don't know if it's because of the cold weather. Maybe it's difficult for people to get out and be active. But we need to really look at how that affects our community, how that affects the cost that each of us then take on because of the effects of obesity and not getting our youth more active and involved. And here to speak with us to increase our awareness level, increase our activity level, and help us stick to our New Year's resolutions, we have Katie Johnke. Katie, thanks for joining us. You're the Nutrition Services Coordinator for Bismarck Burley Public Health. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So, Katie, first off, what's your role at Burley County Public Health, and what's your mission? What do you want to achieve through your work?
So my job at Bismarck Burley Public Health is the Nutrition Service Coordinator, and I'm then the dietitian as well for the community. And really, my goal is to focus on prevention of chronic diseases, policy change, and promoting a healthy lifestyle to the community.
Yeah, so how do you go about that, Katie? That's a pretty big task.
We go about it in several different ways. Education really is a big piece, but as we all know, education doesn't always necessarily make the changes needed, and so that's where policy definitely comes into play as well. And so working on some of those policy, working with community partners such as the United Way to try to get our message out to reach as many people as we can. We don't want to recreate the wheel, so we definitely want to work together, and that is the goal that we look to meet is reaching out to those partners and achieving those healthy lifestyle goals.
And what a perfect time with everyone making their New Year's resolutions to be talking about this issue. And I think about everything that I think that I know, but I don't necessarily put into practice. Tell us, why is it so important in the first place for people to really get serious about this issue?
As you said, 66% of our population in North Dakota are overweight or obese. And that's an alarming statistic, and that kind of plays across the whole United States. Not only is it a risk for our health, but it's an economic cost as well to our state through your medical costs, through your job costs, wages, health insurance costs, and then what you pay out for a chronic disease that may be associated with being overweight or obese. For example, if you have type 2 diabetes, it's $10,000 a year to pay for that disease. And so if you can prevent that by losing weight, being active, and this is just one example, why wouldn't you do so?
Well, and people don't think about this, especially at a younger age when they should be in prevention mode. But I do know people who have suffered from type 2 diabetes, and even when it's managed, it's so risky because when you go into surgery, so many complications can arise.
Yeah, it's not just necessarily the number on the scale that is a problem. It is the other risks that, like you said, play into it. Having excess weight around your abdomen can put you at risk for when you go into surgery or different lab values. And a lot of the times it's a cyclic process. One lab statistic or one number affects the other. And that's why it is so important to know all of your numbers, such as your blood pressure, your blood sugar, your weight, your BMI. All those things tie into place. And if you make changes to, let's say, just focus on your weight, the rest of the numbers are going to fall into place.
How do people know if they are at risk? I mean, is it just as easy as going in for a physical? I mean, a lot of people don't want to pay for that.
You know, you can know if you are maybe overweight by knowing your BMI, and that's a simple indicator that uses your height and weight. And there's BMI trackers that you can, or calculators that if you even go into the CDC website online, it asks you for your height and your weight, and it gives you what your BMI is. And so that is a good indicator. Now, if you're pregnant, it does not apply to you, and other certain situations such as a bodybuilder, different things like that. But for the general population, a BMI is a good indicator to get you to where you're starting. If you also have a health history of, cardiovascular disease, diabetes that runs in your family, and you are overweight, your risk goes up dramatically.
And so if you get your BMI and you realize you maybe need to make a lifestyle change, what should that first step be? It's not as simple as just showing up at the gym the first day and fixing it.
You have to have in your mind a goal, and you have to be ready to make those changes. You can tell yourself, I want to lose 10 pounds, but if you really aren't set on making the changes in your household, you're going to set yourself up for failure. And so you need to set goals that are realistic. You can't say, I'm going to drop 50 pounds in a month. That's not going to happen. You didn't put those 50 pounds on in a month. So you really need to be realistic about the changes you're going to make, and start small. If you've never been to the gym in your life, don't expect to run 6 miles on the treadmill. Maybe it's something as simple as I'm going to walk 10 minutes. And that's it. That's what you do on day one.
I have a high schooler, a foster child, living with me, and I feel so incredibly guilty because I work a lot. I'm single. I live alone, now with her for the last few months. And it's so challenging to try to cook healthy and implement some healthy lifestyle changes, not just for myself, because I definitely need it, but to ensure that she's given that opportunity. What are some economical ways to do that? And what are some recommendations?
So it is very important to, making a healthy change, is to get your family involved and cook in your home. Going out to eat, costs money. It's going to have more calories, more sodium, and those are things that can put us at risk. So by cooking at home, you can have that family involvement, get your kids involved, let them plan a meal, or let them, just help with the cooking. Even I have a 3-year-old, and I let him, set the table, pick out the vegetable we're having that night. And those little things instill, especially in young children, those healthy behaviors for later in life. If you do like to eat out, because we all do that, and that's part of our lifestyles we live, have a plan before you go out and be mindful. Set a goal, again, before you go out that says half my plate needs to be fruit or veggies or, some combination. And so that you still maybe be able to enjoy that pasta, but no, you have to have broccoli, your side is broccoli instead of maybe that breadstick. Ask for a to-go box, that kind of thing. So really making those nutritious options as a family. If your family doesn't eat eggplant, don't serve it just because it's a vegetable and a healthy alternative.
I love eggplant.
You are probably one of the few people that do. If you love potatoes, great. Potatoes do have a good place in our diet, but it's what we put on them that can be the downfall. So, a baked potato is a great option. Served with a broccoli cheese sauce, you're getting your broccoli in. If that's how your kids are going to eat broccoli, go for it. It's those loaded baked potatoes that, kind of get the bad rap.
So now this might be a silly question, but I really don't know the answer. Whenever I hate going grocery shopping, and when I do, all the fresh fruit and vegetables, they go bad in my refrigerator. So is frozen vegetables, fruits, or in a can, are they that much worse?
So any way that you can get your fruits and vegetables in, we promote, whether that is canned, fresh, or frozen. Canned is going to have higher sodium if you are looking at vegetables, but an easy way to eliminate that is by rinsing them, and that reduces about 40% of the sodium. So drain and rinse your canned veggies, and no problem. Frozen, there has been actually some research out there that frozen might be even more nutritious than the fresh, because frozen are picked and then preserved right away, where fresh they have to travel from wherever, and so some of those nutrients are lost. And so any way that you can get a fruit or vegetable in your diet, do so. Don't worry about whether it's canned, dried, frozen, or fresh. We want to promote all varieties just because we don't get enough in our diet. And so any way that it fits into your budget, we encourage.
Fantastic. Katie, thank you so much. We will be hearing more from Katie after the break. And then we'll also have Lachey Michels from the YMCA sharing ways for you to get more active and involved this upcoming new year. Join us in just a couple minutes on United Way's Community Talk.
Right now it's 8 below.
Your news leader, weeknights at 6 and 10. Super Talk 1270.
Welcome back to United Way's Community Talk. A special thank you to Town Square Media and Super Talk 1270 for their donated airtime every other week. You can find us right here from 11 to 12 p.m. We are here bringing community issues, increasing awareness, getting ways to be more involved in the solution. We need you. We need every single one of you out there. Co-hosting with me is Ms. Amber Jensen. You've been awfully busy at that United Way office. You were playing Mrs. Claus this last week, weren't you, Amber?
Yeah, it was fun. We had many businesses, Basin Electric, Bank of North Dakota, Life Expressions Chiropractic, all take giving tree tags, and you should have seen our office. It was plumped full of packages. I think we did 97 gifts to those in need in our community. It's just a fun way to give back because not everyone maybe needs another pair of socks, and so take those $5, $10 and put it in someone that needs it.
Yeah, our dining room was full. And if you want to see the work that you're doing at our United Way and all the people that you're reaching, like us on Facebook. Jason Milner from Stiefel Nicholas just challenged our community for every new like on our Facebook page. He donated $5. So a special thank you to Mr. Milner at Stiefel Nicholas. We got up over 1,000.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's a great way for us to spread our message and do it at low costs.
Yeah, if you're a business out there and you want to get more involved, we have so many different ways, whether you want to sponsor an upcoming event. Amber, tell us real quickly about the annual luncheon.
Yeah, we'll be celebrating all of our donors, volunteers, and everybody that's given to the United Way and given back to the community on Thursday, January 29th. We'll be at the Ramkota from 11:30 to 1. Tickets are $15, or you can get a table for $500, and that will get you 6 tickets included with that sponsorship, and you'll get some media coverage and some advertising dollars out of that sponsorship as well. Mark your calendars. It's a great way to learn about United Way, celebrate all of your campaign successes, and just have some fun. So January 29th from 11:30 to 1.
Yeah, and if you're new to the community, if you're out there driving away, taking an early lunch, and you want to meet more people, you want to meet good people, you want to get more involved, or maybe you need resources, come to the luncheon. That $15, it's not a moneymaker for us. It's a way for us to connect the community members and for people to really show their support for the work that we're doing. We had over 600 people there last year.
Yeah, we almost outgrew the Ramkota.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting.
So that's January 29th. Mark your calendars. Come for a nice meal, a good show. We'll be out of there by 1 o'clock. The work we do is so successful because of the partnerships that we're able to facilitate, and because of the initiatives where we focus and target your dollars on the programs that are most efficient, that actually demonstrate their outcomes and their results, and that, we work with funded partners and non-funded partners to really bring the community together to solve issues. So we are talking about our health initiative. We think it's really important to lower costs on our community, on our taxpayers, on our social service network, and really tackle the root causes of so many issues. And overweight folks, children, obesity, it's a real big issue in North Dakota, and one that we often overlook. I know when I do foster care, a lot of times lower income kids who are in foster care, all they know is McDonald's. Yep. All they know is fast food because it's cheap. It's quick, it's easy. And while there are healthier options available now they're not necessarily the cheaper options at some of these chains. So talking with us today, we're going to continue a conversation with Katie Johnke from Bismarck Burley Public Health, but we also have Lachey Michaels. Lachey, you are the Life Center Director at the YMCA, one of our largest funded programs at the United Way. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
So, ladies, talk to us. What's your number one most important thing for people to as a community come together and really prioritize the need that we have and each of us individually?
I think healthy eating and staying active are the two key components to living a healthy lifestyle. And you can do those through a variety of ways. With healthy eating, focusing on our portion sizes is where we have really gotten away from and where we need to go back to. If you think back 30, 40, 50 years ago, the portion sizes then, for any of you that grew up in that time and to now, the sizes of foods have become outrageous. And we need to go back to what a portion size is. We can still enjoy all of our favorite foods, and if we followed the appropriate portion sizes, we would not have this overweight and obesity epidemic that we do. And then I think physical activity has really fallen off the wheel as well.
So, Lachey, you are a personal trainer, and I guess I didn't even realize this was an option at the Y. I guess that's probably because I don't go very often as much as I should. But tell us about what your job entails, because you're a personal trainer and a sport nutritionist.
I am a personal trainer. I manage the personal training department, so we have about 13 personal trainers on staff. It's a fee-based program. The Y offers a lot of free programs that we offer, anything from group fitness classes to classes for the young to the old. There's something there for everybody at the Y. Personal training, we work one-on-one with more of our members, and we go into more of a structured program that's direct. So for you, Gina, if you and I would sit down, we would analyze what your goals are and make it specific to what you would want to accomplish.
So what does an average training session look like?
Our average training sessions, we have a fee-based program. It's 12 sessions for half an hour. It's $225. We just ran a special on it. You would have half an hour with that trainer where you would work one-on-one an intense workout.
And so, earlier we were talking about what are some economic ways for families to get their children more active. And I know at our United Way, we do fund a number of different programs so that kids have the Y available to them.
Yes, we are very grateful. The YMCA is able to offer through United Way anywhere from kindergarten through 6th grade. We do a free youth development pass. So basically all we would need is you to stop by at any of our member service desks, pick up an application, and that would allow that child or individual free access to the YMCA and anything it offers.
That is just great. And then for older kids, what is the fee for membership?
The membership can change depending on where you would work. It's on a structured program, but we do offer it. A youth pass would be...
Does that mean we're free because we work at United Way?
No, but we do...
Oh, darn.
Right. We do want to provide anyone in the community an option to be able to come and work out. So we do have a fee-based assistance program that we offer. We offer scholarships that we are funded through United Way and through fundraising that we've done at the Y. And through that, we basically look at financial situations and assess everyone and put them in so they can come in and work out.
Well, you are very community-minded at the Y. Bill Bauman, your leader over there, is just one of the best leaders in our community, and we really appreciate all the support that he provides to us as well. So I have a question. If people want to learn more about what are some small changes they can make? Maybe they can't fit in a structured personal trainer. Maybe they can't make those appointments. What's the first step to becoming more fit, more active, and especially when they have children?
We do run some programs where, like in my direct department, we've got a program that offers an orientation to a new member. So, Gina, if you would come in, you did not have the money that you could use for a personal trainer, we run a free program called Start Now. What that does is you have 4 appointments with a fitness associate who will go through, show you how to use the machines, show you how to use the cardio, the Life Fitness Signature Series, work one-on-one with you, and then you would have a free personal training session. The Life Center is open to anyone 10 and above. So 10 to 13, you can be in there with a parent. And then the gyms upstairs can be accessed for younger.
You know, a lot of people don't realize that nowadays insurance will cover some of the membership. Tell us about how that works.
The insurance, if you're signed up there, if you make 12 visits in a month, you can be reimbursed back $20 or $40 for a couple. Say you and your spouse come in and you both hit that 12 mark each, you can be reimbursed back $40.
That's fantastic. And then, you know, people then, if a typical membership is anywhere between, you know, $20 to $40, it really makes it work. I mean, think about that $20 and how you're spending that money throughout the month, and gosh, what you wouldn't give, not just to look better, but to really feel better and to minimize a lot of your risks. So, Katie, you were talking on the break about different physical activity that people can incorporate into their daily routines. Talk about that and some other tips that you have for folks listening.
You know, to be active is really just to be moving. And so involve your family in any way that you can. Go for walks when it's cold out like it is now. You know, just playing in your house, running around, doing jumping jacks, things like that. Anything to get your body moving. And when you do have young children where it might not always be easy to get to the gym, involve them. Sledding is a great activity. When we get enough snow to do so. I'm not complaining, but sledding, you know, again, going for walks, that's something everyone can do. All you need is just a pair of shoes that are safe and, you know, bundle up when it's cold outside, build snowmen, different things like that. In the summertime, go swimming. There's so many outdoor activities that you can do to stay active. And as long as you're moving your body, you're moving toward a healthier lifestyle.
Well, we really appreciate you ladies, all the work that you do, not just for the people that you're reaching through, you know, the Y and through Bismarck, Burley Public Health, but for being here today because, you know, we have a wonderful list that Katie provided to us. We are going to post it online, msaunitedway.org, some examples of how to fix healthy snacks, you know, how to get cooking, how to drink more water, and what's the amount of water that a person needs. Make sure you eat breakfast. Some important tips and snacks so that you can get healthy and include your family and kids on that right path. Come back, join us for just one last segment here. We'll be talking about what's happening in our community, some tax breaks if you're looking for those before the year end here. And we will be talking with Adam Dever. He's a United Way board member, and I believe he's the CFO at Man Energy. So come back in just a couple minutes. United Way's Community Talk.
Right now, it's 6 below.
Get the traffic and weather information you need time on Super Talk 1270 and online at supertalk1270.com.
Welcome back to United Way's Community Talk. I am your host, Jenna Gullo, and I also happen to serve as the Executive Director of the Missouri Slope Area-Wide United Way. We need your support. We need your help. Contact us. Find out how you can get involved. Call our office. It's 701-255-3601, or go online. If you like us on Facebook, Jason Milner at Stiefel Nicholas will give us $5 just for liking us. So share our page, get more people involved, and that's really how we do the good work at our United Way. Amber Jensen, you've been working with our Women's Leadership Circle this last year or so. Tell us about, you know, everything going on with the WLC.
You know, the WLC just wrapped up in November, the Little Black Dress. We had 90 ladies participating in the Little Black Dress campaign. Those ladies wore the same black outfit for an entire week and raised $500, minimum of $500. Many of those ladies went above and beyond, and we raised around $50,000, and that will all go back to our education initiative. Another thing that they're currently doing still and started in October was an Adopt the Classroom program. So they go to Saxvik Elementary the second and fourth Tuesday of every month from 11 to 1, read to the kids, help with math, homework. I went last Tuesday. I got to go out and play recess and eat lunch. I forgot how much fun the lunchroom is with kindergartners and second graders, but it's just a lot of fun. We've
Bring
had one
your
lady.
earplugs.
Yeah, bring your earplugs. One lady said it was the best 2 hours she had that whole week. And so it's really fun getting to mentor and tutor kids that might just need that extra support. They might just need a role model or someone to look forward to that's coming to their classroom. It's just a lot of fun and a good way to get involved. Maybe you don't have money or, but you can volunteer your time.
Well, and people might not realize that there are only 29% of our youth in Bismarck-Mandan that even feel that they have a positive adult role model in their life. That's low, especially for North Dakota, because we are all right here. We are all willing to provide that support. But, how much time do you have in your day? Would you be willing to, as a business, adopt a classroom and split up amongst your employees different times, every week or every other week when someone can go in for an hour or two? That's a great way to really make a big impact in a child's life, provide that mentorship for them.
Yeah, we just got KLJ just hopped on board to do Adopt a Classroom as well. They'll be going to Jeanette Myrie and are all excited. They're signed up until the end of the school year. We're working with Capital Credit Union and KX News to get them tied on as well. I mean, it's as simple as saying hi to a child when you walk and see them through the grocery store or at the mall. They just really need that positive role model, and this Adopt a Classroom program, I think, will really make a difference.
Well, one of the best things that I think reasons I love my job so much at United Way is because of the good people involved and how everyone comes together to make it work, because we have such a small staff, low administrative expenses, that we recruit the best and the brightest to join our forces and to really make our United Way what our community wants it to be. On the phone, joining us for our segment is one of the best younger, because he's probably about my age, so I get to call myself younger leaders in our community. He serves on our board. He's served on our community impact committees. He serves as my treasurer. He's on my executive committee. We have Mr. Adam Dever from Man Energy joining us. Thanks, Adam, for joining our show today.
Well, good morning, and thank you for having me, Jenna.
Well, Adam, I've got to just start off, because you've been involved for a number of years at our United Way. I need to ask, I don't mean to put you on the spot here. I know we're talking more about year-end gifts later, but I just want to ask, talk to our listeners about what it is about United Way that that makes you want to support it and give so much, not just of your dollars, but of your time, because I really appreciate how dedicated you are to our community.
Yeah, so growing up in Bismarck and in North Dakota, I feel so blessed to have a community like Bismarck that really embraces everybody, and we got such good school districts and a good economy, and everything about Bismarck's been so positive, and I want to continue to make sure that it's positive for my three kids growing up, and we see all the growth in the state and in the area, and we have so many resources that it seems like we can be able to do that and continue to make sure Bismarck's a exciting place for our kids to grow up. So that's really what motivates me to be involved. And there's so much about the area that you really don't see, some of the sort of negative sides of Bismarck that people don't see all the time. And when you get involved and you start to see that there's really a need out there, a need for people to step up, and business leaders and the community leaders to step up and really rise to the challenge of all the growth that's going on, that's really what motivates me from a day-to-day and getting involved with things like the United Way.
Well, thanks so much, Adam. And you've been a part of our community impact committees, and you've made some really tough decisions, because we want to help everybody. We want to ensure that we're meeting all the most important needs in our community. But one of the tough jobs you've been faced with is making sure that the donor dollars are directed in the most efficient way possible. And there have been some tough decisions that have been brought to the Community Impact Committee, and just being in those discussions with the other reviewers, because everything's reviewed by independently trained volunteers. So talk a little bit about that experience.
That's correct. And I think that was one area when I got involved that I really was proud of, is that there's so many good people that really spend a lot of time focusing on screening and making sure that the dollars are properly placed. And when we get a donor that's willing to commit dollars, that they can feel like our processes are good, and that we really take the time to make sure that we're having an impact and that the dollars are going to the greatest need and that they're being spent wisely.
So, Adam, talk to us about the tax benefits that Man Energy has taken advantage of by multiplying your annual gift this last year.
Yeah, it's a thing that I think needs to get more attention, but in 2011, the state legislature and the governor passed the North Dakota Charitable Giving Tax Credit. And what that allows individuals and businesses to do is to make a gift to an endowment fund, a qualified endowment fund, and that gift is then allowed to take a 40% tax credit on the state level, and also on the federal level they get the normal deductions there. So it's really a great way to sort of increase the giving power. One example, we talk about is just an average person, say they would give a $10,000 gift. Right off the top, you're going to get the North Dakota tax credit of 40% or $4,000. And then you're also going to get your federal portion of that. So, for example, a 28% tax bracket individual would then get the $2,800 for a net out-of-pocket cost of $3,200. So when you give that $10,000, that goes to the endowment fund of the United Way, but your after-tax cost is only $3,200. So for $3,200, you actually can give the $10,000, which has a huge impact for the endowment fund. And that tax credit is different than a deduction because it's a dollar-for-dollar credit, so you get those dollars back immediately. If you don't have the taxes available to pay, it actually will carry forward 3 years. So you can give a gift now and take advantage of that tax credit for up to 3 years from the time of the gift. So it's really a powerful way to give.
That is just awesome, and a lot of people don't recognize that that's an option to them. And it's not just for individuals, it's businesses as well who can qualify for the credit. Is that accurate?
That's absolutely correct. Yep, it's the same rules, and a business should be able to do that and pass it through the business owners depending on the structure of the organization. But it would be the same if it's a partnership. It would be split up equally. So, for example, if 3 partners got together and they gave a $9,000 credit, $3,000 of it would pass on to each individual partner on their own return. So, yep, it can be done on the business level and on the personal level. And you're seeing a lot more folks take advantage of that. Once they really talk to their tax preparers and look at the numbers, it really makes a lot of sense to do that.
And so, Adam, we just have a couple more minutes left here, but there was a new bill that was just signed by the president for people who are 70 and a half or older regarding their IRAs. Do you have information that you can share on that for our listeners?
Yep. If a individual is required to take their deductions from an IRA, once they reach that age, it's a required mandatory deduction. If you mark that deduction or that contribution as a donation, you will not be subject to tax on that. So you can just earmark that and say it's going to go, immediately into a contribution. It will not be part of your tax calculation this year. So you will not have to pay tax on those distributed dollars.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Adam. Adam Dever from Man Energy, providing us some valuable information for these year-end gifts. It's not too late. Log on to msaunitedway.org. Contact us. Go to our Facebook page if you're online, or even give us a call. We're at 701-255-3601. We're located at 515 North 4th Street, right in downtown Bismarck, between Avenue A and B. So stop in, give us a wonderful year-end gift, not just for 1 or 2 or 10 people in our community, but for community-wide solutions. If you give to our endowment, a $10,000 gift might only end up costing you $3,200. If you have an IRA, talk to your tax professional.
ABC News, Super Talk 1270. Accurate news, stimulating talk. This is KLXX AM, Mandan, Bismarck.